Today, folks, we're going to do a college basketball simulator to simulate the 2023 March Madness bracket. So we're going to see how well it does and what happens. And stay tuned to watch. With the power of machines,
specifically computers.
or in this case, AI, I should call it Al, like Alfred. You know what I mean? Also, he was in my attic, so I can just ask him now. Alfred, it's time to get out the attic. You need to predict some college basketball for me. Since college basketball season is just now started, today is a good time to do a college basketball game simulator about the tournament last season. So we're going to do all 63 matches and seeing that what simulator says who's going to win each game and who's going to be our new champion. So let's get this started. Here's our first games. Alabama versus Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Who's going to win? Alabama wins 96-73. That's pretty good. What was the actual score? I have no idea because I'm literally using my TV as a recording as an unlisted video so I can look at the screen and actually show what the games are so I don't have to keep switching tabs because I'm doing a screen recording here. So it's a very convoluted way. But it seems pretty realistic to me. Our second matchup of the tournament is West Virginia versus Maryland. So who's going to win this one? Maryland wins this one because they won it in real life. I don't think it was this close, but so far the actual predictor was 2-0 on the real tournament. Okay, and this next one is a little bit weird because San Diego State versus Charleston. Make it 2022-2023 because that's the season. But Charleston Southern is the only option. I think it's the same thing. I don't know. But they're probably going to win either way, and they did. So here we go. The first potential loss here because I don't feel like Foreman can win this one this time. The predictor is going to pick Virginia all the way. But who knows what's going to happen on the real life 14-13 seed. And Virginia wins this one. So yeah, they pick the favorite one on this option. Foreman has won 10,000 times though, so they really were not that bad of a downside, but you only have like 35%, so it's fair, I guess. What I'm trying to say is not too far-fetched of an upset, really, in my mind. So, we got NC State versus Creighton. Who's going to win this one? Creighton is the favorite, and let's see who we get. Oh, NC State pulls off the upset. Look at these California teams right here. Reason why I say that because now it's UC Santa Barbara versus the Baylor Bears out of Texas. So who's going to win this one? Wait, no home court advantage, and it's probably not going to matter. And Baylor easily wins this one. Look at that logo, that's interesting. Up next, we got Mizzou versus Utah State. So who's going to win this one? High pace, that's stuff. And Mizzou wins by a shocking 27 points. I feel like this one was either way in my predictions if I was predicting tournaments. So far, I only got one wrong, I believe. And yes, that is correct. Wait, does that say Piedmont? They have an elementary school in this one? No! Okay, we got the Wildcats of Arizona versus the Tigers of Princeton. Can Ivy League pull up the upset again? And no, of course, they're not going to predict this upset. So let's see how close this was actually. 25%. I would say that's not really a fair game, but obviously potentially. Yeah, not too far-fetched. Nothing like under 10%, under 5%. I wonder what the FDU Purdue thing it winds up in the odds. That was the first round quadrant now. Time to go to the second quadrant of the first round. On this one, I don't think they might have information on Fairleigh Dickinson. So let's see what now. Oh, yeah, they do have information. And Purdue rolls them out by 33. Now here we got a detrimental game. For Memphis for the Florida Atlantic. I think Memphis has Tigers for the mascot too. There's so many mascots in history of college basketball. And this one, FAU don't win. And FAU went all the way to the Final Four. So this is one of the greatest picks that's going to be impacting this tournament. The third incorrect one this time. And the was the 8 seed this time. So I believe it was favored according to the seeds. But yeah, and also towards the actual simulations. Interesting. Next up, we got Duke versus Oral Roberts. So this is an interesting matchup. And Oral Roberts is a real name for a college. I would make a joke here, but we're not going to be immature on this channel. Like, who wants to go to the dentist's office anyways and talk about that? So I'm not going to waste your time. So, and Duke wins this one for a 5-12 seed matchup. And looks like the mascot for Oral Roberts is a giant chicken, like off of Looney Tunes, like that big chicken. Okay, we got a problem. So Tennessee faces Louisiana. So we don't really have Louisiana here. We use Louisiana Christian or Louisiana Tech. I'm going with Louisiana Tech. I don't know. But let's see who wins this one. and no home court advantage. Tennessee's going to win this anyways, not just because of my team. Yeah, pretty good fashion, you know. Tennessee wasn't really an offensive team because they were my team. Of course, know the information more than any other team, but that's cool. This one's a game. Look, it's Kentucky. My arch nemesis. Can't say that right. Well, whatever. But Tennessee's rivals are Kentucky because Kentucky's over basketball and Tennessee's not. And Tennessee is my team. And Kentucky wins, of course. But okay. All's well ends well, right? Here we go. The battle of the state colleges. Kansas State versus Montana State. And who wins this one? Montana State goes for the upset. Dun, 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 overtime. I didn't know that. I didn't even see the overtime thing. Maybe that's the first time that's overtime. But, first time I've seen that. But that's interesting. A 30-14 upset. For college football, this is definitely USC territory, but in real life, Michigan State won. But who wins this time? Michigan State still wins with 69 nice points. Wait, we're not going to get a draw on this channel. Marquette versus Vermont. Vermont's a state you know for the athletics, but it's surprised they got in this tournament. For a 2-15 seed, Vermont loses 84-69 points. And that's expected. So Houston wins over Kentucky by 7. So Iowa beats Auburn in this scenario, which is incorrect compared to the actual tournament. So that's the 4th wrong answer. I don't know if you keep track, but so here we got a funny one. We got Miami of Florida versus Drake the Rapper. Can Drake the Rapper take the title team of Miami on a 1v20 something? I think 1v12. You get the point. Title team. And no, Drake loses. He puts up 72 points by himself. And it's cool because he gets to know himself as a bulldog. That's pretty respectful for a rapper. I know this is a title team, but you have to love it. Indiana versus Kent State. So who's going to win this one? I know all the probably fans think I said Ken, but I said Kent. So Indiana beats Kent State by barely. I had Indiana go to the Elite Eight last season, so that's surprising. Now this was a surprising game. Pittsburgh would beat Iowa State by putting up 59 points, and Iowa only scored 41. So this one's going to be high scoring, and Iowa State actually wins this one. And yes, Pittsburgh came from the first 4, and I forgot to do those games, but no one really cares about those games anyways, always in my opinion. I don't know about you, but it's too late for that, so Xavier beats Kansas State by 20. Instead of last time, it was on a game-winning block, which was just in time to avoid an upset. Pretty interesting. I know I said that multiple times, but it is interesting. So we got the 3-point known scores. Colgate versus my favorite team in the whole wide world, my favorite state, Texas. I'm joking, but Texas is beautiful though. Here we got the reigning champions of this tournament, or of the previous tournament, Kansas versus Howard versus Buted Howard, which is the name of one of my pets from my childhood. So we got 20,001 different simulations, and Kansas beats the Bison by 12. And the Bison won by 16%. So yeah, this is definitely a widespread favoring Kansas game. So we got the Illinois versus Arkansas Pants. Okay, that was cringe, but let's see who wins this one. Arkansas by 6, pretty good. So we got VCU versus St. Mary's without home court advantage, and see who wins here. So St. Mary's still loses to VCU. So, welcome to the second round. Did Alabama to the 3-16 correctly? This might be a number 1 seed, but still. So, can Virginia ride the wave of being lucky and barely escaping the first round in real time, which it didn't? So, San Diego State eliminates Virginia. So, we got Iowa versus Houston here. Houston is number 1 seed. Can he hold on? And yes, he did easily. Not a single problem. So we got Indiana versus Miami. Welcome to Miami, and they lose. The 5 seed loses to the 4 seed. Apparently, we got a first round matchup here. Texas A&M versus Penn State. So, that's a big upset. Iowa State didn't make out the first round, but they make it to the 3-16 after beating number 3 seed Xavier. Now this one is a fun one. Texas versus Texas A&M. Since Texas A&M didn't actually make it, and they upset the 2 seed. Another upset. Now, here's the moment of truth. Does Arkansas give an upset of Kansas? And they don't. So the defending championship champions go to the Sweet 16 again. For a second year in a row. Oh, as far as I know. So VCU versus Connecticut. This is a good matchup I can see happening. VCU takes out the champion of this year's tournament. So Connecticut doesn't win the tournament according to the Simwittle. And out of 15% chance here, so that's very minimum at best. So TCU totally wipes out Gonzaga. This is crazy. Also, we got Boise State versus UNC Asheville. Two longs that didn't get past the first round, but Boise State wins, so yeah. Into the Sweet 16, can it keep the good guesses going? So San Diego State made it to the final, and they say Alabama wins this one by a large margin. Now we're down two good contenders, and also Miami and FAU is out too, so don't even have the Final Four matchup. So not looking good for this tournament, but doing better than I did, of course. So, can it keep the good guesses going about Creighton going to the top 8? Yes, it does. So Creighton goes to the top Elite 8, and that's a really good guess. So, it's Purdue versus Tennessee according to the Sweet 16 matchup. Now, I would have preferred this option in real life NCAA tournament because Tennessee still needs revenge on Purdue in 2019. And they don't get revenge here. Before it was an overtime game, like 99 to 98, or something, no, 98 to 96 or something like that. And then it was like Purdue barely won by 44, so Tennessee doesn't get their payback, and my team loses. Very, very sad. So you can't believe it, but I can't believe it. Marquette loses to 60 to Kentucky, and Kentucky's going to the Elite 8. Oh yeah, quick shout out to anybody who's still watching this video. I really appreciate it. If you all, I need you to comment something because do you want college football to do like this kind of March Madness stuff? Because I really would appreciate it. Appreciate your opinion. Another matchup that didn't happen with either of these two teams. Both of them didn't escape the first round, and Iowa State's going to the Elite 8 of circumstances. So that's interesting. So, can VCU take out the national champion from last season in this crazy scenario? And no, it doesn't. So, Kansas, the 2022 March Madness champion, goes to the Elite 8 again. Another matchup that didn't happen, and with either team being in this situation, and TCU goes to the Elite 8 as well. So, such luck this team has. Into the Elite 8, so we got Alabama versus Creighton. Does it A, Alabama actually wins this game and B is in a position that never meant to be in the Final Four, or B, Creighton just goes into another round and just be lucky? Answer is, time's up, Alabama goes to the Final Four. Well done. I think that's the first time Alabama ever done that, ever. Remember when Alabama used to suck at basketball? I do. So, can Kentucky go in a position that have been before in the Final Four? Nope. Purdue goes to the Final Four with Zach Edey, the big 7'4" player. Yeah, it's all about that player. I find it funny how they still lost the first round. Still can't believe it to this day. So, we got Indiana versus Texas A&M. Who goes to the Final Four? Texas A&M goes to the Final Four. That's crazy. I don't think Texas A&M ever been in the Final Four. So, yeah, this might be an underdog. They still win this one. This is a crazy one from like a 7 seed, I think this is. Yes, it is confirmed. Texas A&M is the 7th seed in March Madness 2023. So, of the South, Midwest, and East one, who wins the rest of March Madness tournament? And Kansas wins the West in overtime. Second overtime game in the entire thing, I think. Yeah, it just sticks out like so far. I immediately notice it, unless I don't. But I don't know. Maybe I always notice it. Write down in the comments if I just two of them. But either way, that's a low-scoring overtime game for sure. But that's weird though. Why do they have a Midwest division in March Madness? Should they have like a North division? So surprisingly, we got Alabama versus Purdue. Alabama goes to the championship match, so that's insane. Oh, roll tide. Well, won't we? I hate Alabama because they beat Tennessee if you're in football. Wait, that's bias. Let me rephrase that. I don't really hate Alabama. More like respectfully. Just don't like, let me rephrase that real fast. I don't want any angry Alabama fans. Just bump what they do. Okay, Texas A&M is going to the final after defeating Kansas, the 2022 champion. Yes, 7 seed Texas A&M. If they win this whole thing against Alabama, I'm gonna flip. I swear, if Texas A&M wins this, I'm gonna go flip Krabby Patties, and Alabama wins the title tournament. Of course. If there's a college football champion tournament, Alabama probably win the whole thing. Why does Alabama have to win everything? Oh, come on. I don't like this site at all.
This makes me so mad.
So, you see this? You see this one? What's it called? Game Sim knows all. Hashtag. Well, if you know all, you probably would have predicted the championship correctly. And all these other ones. Even though you did miles better than my tournament, I'm still mad changed to Alabama. That's the final line. You know, there's a fine line between. No, I'm just going on a limb. But either way, so AI or OWL or basically anything like this or any predictor or this predictor NCAA game sim, they did pretty good in my opinion. What's it called? Got a lot of right, a lot wrong. Yeah. So Roblox do know what they're doing. More than me, but oh well. Thanks for watching. Goodbye and subscribe.